The command to recursive and forcefully delete all files in subdirectory rm-rf is one of the scariest commands for any user of a Linux system. I still remember the horror of deleting most of the operating system with it while logged in as root. Another time, I just deleted my entire home directory with this deadly command. Luckily, I had a recent backup, but this command has claimed many victims. So let's go to our command line with Control-Alt-T, and I'm going to go into Documents, and I'm going to make a directory called new-dir. I'll go into that directory, and I'm going to create a file. I'm going to go into VI, and I'm going to create a file, and then I'll save it. I'll save it as test file. I can get out of VI, go back to Documents, and I'll do an ls. You'll see I have new-dir, I have some other files here. If I do remove dir on new-dir, it will tell me that it's not empty. Now, instead of going into it and to each subdirectory, so if new-dir has a big chain of subdirectories, I can't just remove the directory. I need to do something else to delete it. So what do I need to do? rm minus or -rf new-dir. And if I ls, it's gone. Easy as that. Now if I do rm minus rf dot, this gets a little scarier because I have to think, okay, where am I? Okay, I'm in my home directory and the documents subdirectory. So rm minus rf dot will delete everything in the current directory and all of its subdirectories. Now, when you run this command, take a deep breath, think carefully about what you're doing before hitting enter. So I'm going to hit enter. Oh, cannot remove directory. That's somewhat helpful if I do a star. All gone. So any of these wildcard, star, dot, I'm going to type a character here that is very scary for me, slash. Now this is not just slash my home directory, this is slash the entire operating system, the entire disk, all of the operating system files, everything. So rm minus rf slash is the scariest of the scary. Now, what I recommend, if you're going to have to delete a large directory tree and you want to be safe, you can always open the file manager. I can go into Documents, new folder, I'll call this new-dir, go in, Document, empty document, I'll call it test file. I'll go back to Documents. So I have this new-dir, I can click on it, hit delete, sends it to the trash. That's fine. Now I go back to my command line. So from the command line, things are a little more destructive. Now for fun, since I'm in a virtual machine and I can just fire up another virtual machine or do a quick reinstall, I'm going to try something here which I don't recommend you trying unless you're in a virtual machine and if there are no files on the system that you need to save. We'll do sudo, so we'll run as root rm minus rf slash. Now hitting enter here is a hard thing to do. It's like standing at the edge of a building and looking down, and this is actually taking the jump. Put in the password, enter. Haha, oh wow, all right. So there's a bit of a failsafe here. You can't always rely on this, but we're lucky that this does come up because this was a really bad command. This is the worst of the worst commands. And it tells me it is dangerous to operate recursively on our main directory slash our entire file system. Now, there's a failsafe. If I go back up and I add rm -- no preserve root, so no preserve root directory slash, this is going to destroy my virtual machine and most of the files on the system. So I hit enter and it just goes through this whole thing. There's some files it can't remove, but it removes most of the system and destroys my computer. Or not the physical computer, it destroys the operating system. So you've seen it done here. now it's falling, you see the whole thing is collapsing. It's kind of funny to watch. If there's nothing on the system you need to save, you really should never be running this command. You can just watch for a moment. So don't be one of the many victims of rm-rf. Play it safe. Take this video as a warning. Now we're just watching this system here fall apart and collapse into nothingness. I've lost most of my graphical user interface. It has part of a window here open that was from Firefox. Once it gets to deleting Firefox and a few other things, it'll all go away. Now there's not a whole lot to see here. I may as well conclude it now. But this wraps up our video on the dangers of rm-rf. Seriously, play it safe when using this command.